All right, and continuing on with building out the expansion to Cernicova South. This road completed and it got very, very busy, and it's because it's like the only asphalt road to get out of this area. All the other roads were gravel, so nobody wanted to leave them. So I've got some gravel road construction stuff happening here, or at least I've got, asphalt road going in here. And I'll probably try to connect this as asphalt too to give them another option. But I have now completed construction just now on getting this area taken care of too. And this is all mixed waste. Maybe I'll put a couple of biological bins in here, but I guess we have some here. Maybe that's not a big deal. We have some extras. I don't care. Anyway, so this is the asphalt now. I was kind of hoping they would start using that, but that's just now made. So I think a lot of their pathing has to recalculate from this point on. You can see this is very busy through here because everyone wants to turn left here as well to try to get into this area. And so what we're going to make here is I'm going to make this into a 4-lane road. We're going to add some lanes. That'll help out a lot here. This will be dedicated to kind of getting on this path here, and then we'll have this be a one-way so that it always turns right, or sorry, it always turns left. And then we don't have to worry about this anymore. All these roads can be one-ways. We'll get some turnarounds and stuff through here too. Probably no big deal. It'll come all the way through here, and we'll put some one-laners through there to kind of make that up. We've also got some one-lane roads coming through here to kind of connect if anyone's coming down this way. This will eventually get paved as well. And we might even have this road take and go all the way over into the farm area from there too. I'm still working on that. I'm still working on getting this area kind of taken down and cleared out for more fields. And we do have... I've gone through my building list. So if I go to the building list, go to list of buildings, right? Entire map. And then I isolate it to just the road vehicles depots. I've gone through the ones that were free. And I've kind of made sure that the ones that are free were empty. So I moved vehicles around. And now I've taken down all the free ones that were kind of just sitting around as little vehicle storage areas. Now those vehicles are being stored in like the fully built ones, and the temporary ones are temporary ones are being moved over here now. So we have 4 of them right here, and the vehicles they're en route. It just takes them a long time to get here, but they're en route to get over here. And once they do, I'll probably be able to triple the speed that I work with this stuff. I'm going to try to open this up a little bit more too. I've decided this mountain's going to stay, but this whole area here can be flattened. So I've got a lot of flattening time that needs to happen here. It may cause me to lose a week. We'll see. On just doing this, it may cause me to lose, to not be able to have a video for a week or something purely just so I can finish this. I'll probably work on it as my only playing time and work as a resources will just be this, and I'll watch a Netflix movie or something while I'm doing it. I don't know. But I just need to get this stuff flattened, and I think getting these... getting additional vehicles in here. Right now, I've been doing all this, temporarily because I have other things I've been doing, right? Where I've had some comments saying, I usually just stack tons of vehicles in there. Yeah, duh. Yeah. But I have other projects I'm working on too. And so like these guys right here are what I've been pretty much just dealing with exclusively is just these guys. And so what I'd like to do is get these guys moved over as well. And we'll have to see how many vehicles we have left over on this side. It may be beneficial for me to just build a big one so I can just get more vehicles in there. But because we're going to be building stuff over here and over here. I don't plan on flattening everything over here, though. I really want to use the natural landscape as it was as much as possible. But there is a limit to that, and that is mostly when it comes to like my food supply and getting this sorted out. This is right next to this. So I will be flattening this, and I will be flattening this all the way up to the border. Maybe slightly in from the border just so it looks a little bit more natural. But this one's closer to being done. And then, with this being flattened and that being flattened, I can say, okay, that's it. And no more terrain work is needed. And then I can have the vehicles go off to a construction office near you. Which reminds me, I probably should have a construction office over here because we're going to be doing some stuff over here eventually too. So maybe that's worth it. I've added some additional asphalt. I've been doing this out this way too, trying to get asphalt added all the way out here because if we do need fire coverage in this area with stuff, just trying to get, this road was always supposed to be all the way out this way, but now I've connected a dirt road right through here, And it kind of just goes out this way. And the reason for that is purely because of this. I just wanted all these vehicles that are being moved from road depots that were sitting like over here, right? Because I needed to do all the terrain here, right? So all the road vehicles that were over here helping me do this, they were sitting at vehicle storage right here, and now that's no longer needed. So we can just make sure there's no underground anything in there. Yeah. Come on, frame rates, you can do it. Yeah, so we're gonna get everything just kind of moving this direction, and I wanted them off of the main roads, not slow everything down. And it seems they did choose to take the dirt road after all, so they're gonna be moving their way around over this way. I might even be able to get them to move. I bet they will. I bet if I do this, I bet they'll take this road instead. I'm pretty certain they will take this road. Yeah. Go that way, and then they're gonna be on this road instead. Right? So they bypass the major city because they're only going really slow anyway. So hopefully that's gonna be good. Okay. What else did I want to look through? I do want to see if the traffic shifts. I do want to see if this lets up a little bit, because a lot of these cars that are going that way, they should be starting to want to go this way now. I hoped anyway. I had hoped that they would want to do that, but it seems like pretty much everyone coming out of these parking lots, they all want to go that way now. Which won't be that's not going to be a huge issue eventually. Like once this road is completed, this road here actually needs to be a higher priority than whatever it is right now. You need this to be bumped up. Let's get helicopters on it. Because once this is done, the whole traffic situation sorts itself out pretty quickly. So, yeah. Yeah, and then they're still going to build the food and everything. So I just need more time for building. All right, so they just finished this road, and we're going to see whether or not this fixes our traffic issues or not. So we're just going to go like that, and then this one is going to go that far. And this should shift everybody. I don't know whether these guys will actually turn around or not, but at this point now, though, at least from now on is what I mean to say, they should be a lot better off here. They should be, yeah, recalculate your routing. There you go. Wow. Okay. So we should see that kind of correct itself. And then what it will do also is we'll go in and make this asphalt. So that'll disrupt things for a little while. We're going to give them a detour really quick on this road like that. And so a lot of them will start pathing themselves differently there too. Let's go ahead and get that added to construction crews. I don't really care which one it does or which one does it. And you know, honestly, I think we'll yeah, let's get some labor over here too. I guess we'll use Cernakova's labor office to put some labor on that one too. And then the rest of these are, you know, still working on it, but I'm hoping that this right here at least will clear this up pretty quickly. And yeah, it looks like it's going to anyway. I don't think I'm going to need a bridge here. It's not that busy with rail traffic. Obviously, we still have rails that are going to the border, but that's the only reason for a train to cross this is if it's going to or coming from the border, right? So I thought about getting like an underground tunnel, you know, like one like right here that kind of comes over and connects into this, but I just don't think there's enough of a need for it. I don't think the demand for that is quite high enough for me to invest the time and resources into it. Let's go over here. Now that looks good. Okay, so now we should be able to do this a lot faster. Let's go ahead and real quick try this. Should be able to do this a lot faster. It's not as fast as it can be, but it's a good start. That's pretty wide. Like if I narrow the band, you could see the impacts a little quicker, but it's not actually faster. There's a lot of players out there that have told me that if I make this smaller, it goes faster. It doesn't. It's not faster. You're just targeting a certain area. You're seeing changes in a certain area faster, but on a grand enough scale with a big enough project, believe me, I've invested hours in this. On a grand enough project, widening this out is just the same speed as making it smaller. It is the same. The only difference is you're spreading out the workload amongst a bigger area as opposed to, you know, having everyone focused on a single area. You can see progress faster this way, but it is not actually faster progress. But anyway, so there's that. I'm just putting that little note in there for the peanut gallery. Yeah, so I'm going to do this stuff offline, but just know I'm going to end up having this flat about, let's say, probably around to here. Maybe right here, honestly. Can make this a little bit rounder and call that good. And then all of this goes out until probably around, like, in this area. I just kind of want it to get, you know, yeah, a little bit smaller. And I can influence outside the border. I can. There's a limit, though. Like, I can't go here, but I can go here, and it'll do the entire circle. Still, so we can affect the map outside our borders a little bit, and so we'll look to do that to maximize how much farmland I have in this area, and then the trains that pick it up, right, will have hopefully more crops in this area more year round as opposed to only during the harvest season like it is coming right now. We're starting to see harvested fields now, and we'll start to see trucks on the road pretty quick here, and you know, in addition to all of these guys who are going to have to go get more fuel now because we're doing it. I picked this spot over here because it's kind of central to working this, but then also working this, and then also any work that I do over in this area for any reason, like maybe taking out the water, for example. They'd be able to help me with that. Any foundations on buildings or other additional roads and stuff that I do, the bulldozers could help me on that. So I just thought that would be a nice central location. Why are you having rolling blackouts? Whoa. Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why are you having rolling blackouts? There's... Excuse me? You're not producing anything, which means the nuclear is handling it. That's the same thing with you. If you're not producing, that means nuclear is handling it. So you're handling the full load over there. I mean, yeah, we're up to 38, almost 40% sometimes production over here. So I don't get why that's rolling blackouts. I'm gonna have to investigate that a little bit more in depth to understand that. It could be, well, I was gonna say it's an individual substation thing, but I haven't changed anything about this, so the individual substations cannot be overloaded. So I don't think it's a substation overload issue. You know, 1.98. It's all about providing supply to this, which is all coming from the same switches and all the same transformers and stuff that it had before. So none of this stuff has changed. It has to be some kind of source. I mean, you're only getting 1 point. Yeah, that's strange. I'm gonna have to investigate that. Cernikova should not have power issues because none of the power has changed for Cernikova other than the source of where it comes from has changed, but there's redundancy in that the coal is still fully staffed, operational, maxed out with how much coal it has in storage, and it's sending power the exact same way as it was before. It's just doing it through switches now. Now maybe that's it. Maybe this switch is overloaded, right? Maybe I have too much going into this. Now that could be it. Yeah, I think maybe because this is maxing out, right? So perhaps it's not fully redundant because there's not enough power coming out of this side. I think that's what it is. I think I don't have enough switches. So I need a third switch. Which, if you look at the math, right, that makes total sense. But I split these up. So like this power plant here, this is not going into this, right? So these two, this 15 watt or whatever, that's going directly over here. That's still in here, right? I haven't changed anything about this. What I changed was this one. And what we have is one of them going out that way directly to that switch like it was always. And then one of them going to this one now instead of going to that one directly. And so what happens is now this one it's going to here, then it goes to here, right? So effectively what I have is this. I have this out goes here, and then that goes there, right? And this has prioritization as well, okay? And then this one goes here, which then takes it to here, right, into this system, and then that has prioritization. And that's the only thing I've changed about this whole setup. And instead of this one sending it directly here, it sends it to this one first, which prioritizes it coming from nuclear. And actually, it doesn't have to prioritize it at all right now because it only has one connection. Okay, it's like set up for later. And then this one is getting power from both coal and nuclear with prioritization on nuclear, and then sending it to this like it was already. And then this power plant is wired from this one. It goes up into this network like it was before, so I didn't change anything. And then this one, rather than going here and then over, it now goes through a prioritized switch and then over. So again, the routing has not really changed. I've simply added some switches in between it to allow for prioritization with nuclear. So it really should not, unless the switches are overloaded, and I think that might just be what it is, because it's not going direct to over here anymore. Like, is this one overloaded? Yeah, okay. So that's it. And then obviously this goes to the border, but it shouldn't be going to the border unless it has extra, which it does have extra. There is extra power being generated, but I think with it overloading that switch, maybe I can correct Cernikova by just turning that off. Should be actually both of them because they're both headed out this way. So I should be able to go like this. I think this might correct Cernikova. We'll see. Let's see what it does. No. It didn't correct Cernikova. Well, no, it didn't correct it. Okay, so it's clearly not an export problem. Right? So let's turn this back on. Turn this back on because it's not an export problem, because like the exports only give to the border what we're not using domestically. So it should never be a problem. That border connection should never be a problem. But again, if you're overloading your switches, then that can cause an issue. So this one's overloaded, but it should be offloading because I split the source a long time ago. Again, I didn't change the routing of power here. I just added switches in the middle of it. This one's not overloaded. So the biggest overload right now on power output to that area is this switch. That's the switch. So if I go to overlays, they're both overloaded. I'm tempted. It's very expensive, but I'm tempted to just take a line direct from, I guess, maybe I will remove this one. That might be the play. If I remove that one, remove this line entirely, and wire coal here, I'm still limited by the capacity of a switch, though. I'm not going to be able to get around that capacity issue. But I haven't even added power to the new section of Cernikova yet. Like, there shouldn't be any overload because I don't have any power here. So nothing's changed about this city. Nothing has changed at all. But yet, for some reason, it's overloaded now. It could just be that, it could just be that extra switch. I don't really know. I'm going to have to go more in depth on that. It's not like a super urgent thing where everybody's dying or anything. It's nice, it's summer. I'll look at that offline. I don't want to spend the whole video doing that, and I have such limited recording time right now. Oh, the holidays, guys. I'm so sorry. I know this video is coming out on a Thursday, not a Wednesday. It's just the holidays, man. I haven't even been able to get to my office in almost 3 days, and I'm just kind of every once in a while on a random. Oh, nighttime. Is it bedtime? Okay, well, maybe I'll stay up an extra hour. I'll go to bed at 2 a.m. tonight so I can get just a little bit of hour into planning a video. It's just the way the holidays are. When Christmas is over, when New Year's is done, you get to like January 3rd or 4th, I'm back on full time here. I shouldn't have a whole lot. I don't believe anyway. I shouldn't have a whole lot in my way from that point. It's just the holidays are always big for family time. So very interestingly, now that this road is completely done, a lot of the vehicles are actually choosing to use this dirt road instead of going that way. this temporary road that I put in. And it's because they want to, well, at least I thought it was because they wanted to go that way. Yeah, most of them go that way. I don't know why this guy used it. That doesn't make any sense. So he just came from here. He went like that. That's very strange. Okay. No, that's not very strange. Okay, so he wanted to get to this building. And in order to do that, he has to go all the way around because it's a one-way street. So, yeah, there's some stuff I hear. So I either need to decide, like, do I want this road to exist? Because they seem to prefer taking it, this basic dirt road. They seem to prefer this over taking the route, which is, I guess, essentially they had to come all the way down here and turn around. And this is kind of a little bit busier for traffic anyway. So probably what I should do is I could give them another turnaround, or I could just make this road exist, and maybe even both, because if they're heading this way and they want to turn around, then I guess maybe giving them an option to do so, I don't know. I don't know which one would be better in this situation. Maybe we just pave this thing. We could just do both too. I don't see why I can't do both. So tell you what, let's just do both. We'll go like this. We'll pave that. We'll pave that as well. Then we'll come over and maybe right in this area, we're going to have to get rid of that node because it's going to mess it up. So right in this area, what we could do is we'll hit F4 to get it to snap to one side or the other here, and we'll say it on the left side. Right? And then what we'll do is we'll come around about, I hit F4 again, sorry. You got to turn snapping on and off. You got to flop between those two modes in order to get this to work. There we go, about like that-ish. And then straight out, it's going to cross over into that lane a little bit, and that's the difficult part. There's a way to do this to where it doesn't ever cross into that lane. It's just, you have to be very precise. Like right here, I think is good. Right there seems good. And then straight from there. Yeah, this will work. So right through there, and right through there. And how long do we want this? If there's enough cars wanting to go, then we have a bit of a queue here without having to get in everybody else's way. So let's make it just a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. This is probably good. Yeah, we'll just go like this. So that gets us a nice little turnaround for these guys too. We'll build that. Then we get that node put back in and make sure that the traffic on it is good to go. Here we go. This is done now, of course, and so we want to merge these intersections together now that they're actually intersections instead of just being a temporary road. And we'll go ahead and make sure that prioritization is about like that. Okay, how about this side down here too? Same thing. This one here needs to be pretty much configured identically. Well, it's not going to do it. Well, okay, so it's not going to do it right now because it's the wrong configuration. They need to finish this road so I can make it one way, and then it would be the right configuration. So once these roads are completed. Okay. While all this is happening, they actually have very bad ways to turn around while this is happening. Maybe I should give them a detour. A little detour might be good. How about from... Can I go between these two things? Yeah, so right from here, and then you should be able to come over. I thought you could. It's a little bit iffy. I just want a detour. There we go, right there. Right, come on. You had it. It's right there, it's green. Good enough. I want a little detour for them in case they want that, and then you can come around. It's a power pole right there. Can't quite connect to the road here. Too close to the train tracks, I guess. So it's gonna come around like this, and then we'll go like that. So now they can take this road as a detour if they really want to. So if they're on this way, if they're coming from this side, they can turn left, and then they'll go like that, which is so stupid. Now you might think, well, why not just put a road right here so they can access it? Well, because it adds an extra intersection right next to the train tracks, and it's really only for a very niche need, right? It's the trucks accessing this one single building from only one direction, right? Every other direction is fine because they're all on the main highway anyway. So if anyone's coming from this side, from over there, then they don't need it. If they're coming from this side, anything over in this area, they don't need it. So the only vehicles that would ever need that road are basically vehicles that are coming on these roads right here. And that's a very small percentage of them. I just don't think that's going to be a huge deal. So, yeah, whatever. It's fine. Let them go. Real quick, let me check on the track builders all the way over here because they get stuck regularly. Ah, there they are. Hello. Let's go ahead and do that and make sure that you ignore the light and both of you get to go and do your job. We are getting this intersection completed, or we're getting work on it anyway. And then if we can get this bridge done, now we have a bit more direct, a bit more fluid access to that train station right there. And then this over here, we need to get an electric train. I need to get electric locomotives over here. And I have a vehicle that is on its way. At least it's supposed to be on its way. It is here. Where'd it go? And I'll tell you what, the frame rates, things just poof, vanish because they're there. All right, so are you unable? It's just because of it being engaged up ahead. So it's not because it's not electric, right? You should be able to reach your destination. So this is a brand new DR class 243 electric locomotive. And it's very similar to the red ones we've been using in the other offices, except of course much more efficient and much faster, much more powerful as well. It's got basically everything is good about it, right? So we're trying to get there with it. Yeah, so there's definitely some train. Let's talk up here. This isn't gonna be that way. I know this has been this way like the last 100+ videos, but it's not gonna be this way forever, because as soon as this as soon as everything is popping the way it's designed anyway, there will be probably, I would say, 30% less trains moving through this area. And because there's less trains moving through the area, they won't get congested as much. That's the idea anyway. But I've been saying it since basically day one on the creation of this train track system here, that we're sacrificing efficiency for flexibility. And that's been the admitted trade-off since day one, is like we are going to be significantly more flexible on all of our trains, but we'll be a lot less efficient. And that's just going to be the way it is until we get the whole thing set up as designed. And then because there are simply less trains covering the same number of trains, but covering a much wider area, they conflict with each other a lot less often. That is the idea. Okay. So yeah, these are going. We'll want to get... I'm just going to Control H these because they get stuck. And it's just because I don't have a crossover here to, allow them to do this without having to manage them. And I guess I could have them build that crossover. I've just kind of been choosing not to because it's just a waste of my time and resources. Also, wood would be needed for that. And I didn't bring any boards over here. Not really. Right? Oh, they do have boards over here. Well, all right. I'm wrong. That's the way it goes. We're going to say about like this then. So we're going to do this. Just add this little intersection right here. I'll make sure that they build this as the high priority. And now they shouldn't get all clogged up anymore, I don't think, because they'll be able to cross over. Essentially, they'll always be able to be on the correct side of the tracks. Yeah, they'll always be able to be on the correct side of the tracks at this point. So we'll have this office here. Make sure that they are on these two jobs and that these two jobs are considered a high priority. And then once those are done, we'll have the signals pushed back like this. And then these signals will end up being one direction. So that way the trains will always come from the correct direction. No, sorry, not these ones. These two. These two will always be the right direction. And these two actually go away. This will become part of the whole intersection here. So this, and this will all be one intersection at that point. But I want them to build this. So maybe we just delete that now. I suppose that's probably fine. All right. So that'll confuse him for a little bit, but then he'll get back on course from there. What else? I've been working on this, the terrain and everything, just trying to bring this down even further, right? Just every once in a while, I'll see that they are, they got their fuel back. So we just continue to bring this down. High autosave. And slowly but surely, man, we're going to get this to where it's flat. And we'll get our second farm and stuff set up. And hopefully we'll be cruising on having even more crops Now, I want the crops to last year round, of course. Like right now, we're at the point where we're not really generating our own meat anymore because there's no crops for the cows. We're not really making a whole lot of food. We just have a lot of food in stock at this point, right? There's the one place where food is predominantly made, right? Is the main fields over there, and those crop stocks, I believe, are still, yeah, they still have quite a bit there, so that's okay. We're year round on food creation, but like not necessarily here. We're not making food all the time here. It's just like we build up a supply and then we only barely get there. And then, you know, because it's being shipped out too. We're not just using it in this local area. This thing fills up with like 428 or whatever tons. And this thing just keeps cranking it out. But the trains are taking it out of here. And that's another thing, right? Is like the trains and why the trains are congested in this area is because they have to originate from this area and return to this area. And we can get rid of that by having all the crop deliveries and food deliveries into Charlemagne's North. It doesn't have to originate and end in this area anymore, right? It can originate over here and end over here. So thereby having the supply delivered, but coming from a different source, and therefore it's not clogging up this network, right? So all this stuff it's just taking time to get there, but it'll get there. I've decided I'm also going to put another like wood industry. We only have one place in the entire Republic that are, you know, making boards. And, you know, again, it originates from that area, and all the trains that have to pick it up, they have to come out and bring them everywhere. So I'm going to put another one out here. I think this is a pretty cool spot for it. We can maybe plant some additional trees and stuff out this way. So we got an extra woodcutter and an extra sawmill out this way. And, you know, people are driving themselves out here to go to work. They can just walk here from this parking. I think they'll be able to just walk themselves over here. Well, I mean, I can probably make that happen, though. Like, better roads, or just put another parking lot over here. It doesn't matter. But the point is, they'll be able to get themselves out here, and we'll be able to see them working on that stuff eventually. Let's get this gone over there. Yep. Are they making the crossing? They are. Yes, they are. Okay, cool. And so we'll have that. But out here, we really don't have a lot of water. That's the big thing. Drinking water, we don't have. We have water for all the industries and stuff. Excuse me. All the industries and stuff, we have mostly that. But you know, the sewage tank is overflowing now, and we need to take care of this area just a little bit. There needs to be a little bit of stuff going on here. So what I want to do, let's take a look at the underground really quick. And for the most part, we have sewage being taken care of by trucks. So this is our water substation. They're 99% quality drinking water, but you see it's not full. And it's because it comes from this water tower, which effectively is just having deliveries made via this unloading station. I'd kind of like to not do that anymore. It was good for temporary thing, but I think permanently we need something else. I think water from Warstock could be delivered here. And I'm kind of halfway out here already. So if I come over here, we can see, let's turn off the train stuff. We can see that this water system is delivering out to this water tower already. And that's happening via this pipe right here. Now, I don't think this is a big pipe. It certainly looks like a much smaller pipe than this. This is maximum size pipe here. And so that looks like a pretty small pipe. And I'm kind of wishing I had made this a medium pipe, but we'll see how this goes. Because this is full, it means that it's not really doing much here. It was supposed to also provide drinking water to the meat industry as well. So we may have some additional pipes to make that happen. So what I'm going to do, though, is I'm going to take a small pipe here, though. And I'm going to run this under the highway, kind of out like this. And then we're going to have this kind of curve a little bit. There we go. Just run it underneath this road. And we're going to bring it all the way out this way. So it's pretty far, but I think we can make it happen. And the other thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put a switch out here too. That way I can bring it that way if I want to, you know. Maybe there's a point in the future where I want this water to go out here, and it'd be easier just to tap into to that. Now, we have gravity on our side here, so we don't need to pump all the way out this way. And we get a water switch. And why don't we put the water switch? I think we just probably right here is fine. Yeah, right here is okay for the water switch. Let's put it right there. And then this can go into there. Now, am I going to regret making this a small pipe? I don't know. I really don't know. Because it's drinking water, and I would have to upgrade this whole pipe coming out to it to have that matter, right? Because it actually looks to me, maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe it's just the way you look at it, but it kind of looks to me like my pipe going in is a small pipe, and the pipe going out to this area is a medium pipe. I might be wrong on that, and I can't really tell if it's the same or not. It just doesn't. I think it is. See, so I'm looking at this. Maybe I'll zoom in on the video so you can see it. So you see how much space that pipe occupies within the space of that like brown ring? So like a brown ring right through here. And you see how much space that pipe occupies, right? If we go over to this other one, you see, I'm pretty sure that's it. So I think this is a small pipe going in and a medium pipe going out, which is really dumb. So I feel like I should probably upgrade this pipe later anyway. Especially if I'm going to support multiple directions. So why don't we cancel these plans? Since we're going to put it into a switch, let's put a medium pipe here. And we'll bring this medium pipe all the way out. Same routing, though. We're just going to bring it along the highway, I guess. We'll put it on this outside road here. This time, yeah. And then we'll go in like that. All right, so that gets me into the switch. And then from this switch, we really shouldn't need any more than a small pipe coming out of here. And we'll just bring it all the way down this way. Should we just keep it on the road? Maybe we just keep it on the road. Make it look nice going through the road. I mean, it's underground. It's not like it's really going to matter. So it's going to be about here. And then what we're going to do once this is built is we'll just destroy this and then hook this up to that same small pipe. And then the whole piping system is now fed with gravity. Well, I don't know about that, actually. It may not be fed with gravity there. We may actually need a pump. Well, good news. There's a pump right here. Never mind. Because the pump from where they dump it off, right? So there's already a pump here. So we'll just delete this whole thing, and then we'll pop this into that pump. And then that will feed it into the water tower from there, all right? So we'll just have them build that. All right, it's a medium pipe. And then we'll probably have to upgrade that pipe over there later. We're not really using water fast enough over here for that to matter too much. The output for here is really low. So I guess what I'm saying is I can probably build, you know, off of the switch. I think it goes into a switch. I think it's this switch. There's a pump right here, and it goes into this switch right here. Right, so this switch is where we're going that way. So all I really have to do in this case is maybe come off of this on this switch and build the medium pipe all the way out this far before disconnecting this. And then the medium pipe will go from there to there, right? And then that would take care of the switch that I would need here. So maybe we'll just get started on that too. We can take it from the switch right here. We'll come around. Maybe we'll keep it, you know, here like this, and we'll bring it all the way out. Same pathing pretty much. Maybe it needs to go down a little bit because it needs to go underneath this. There we go. Yeah, there we go. And then let's say from here it goes maybe out about this far. We'll put it like right here. Okay, we'll build that too. And so once that's done, then we can disconnect this, and then all we have is this tiny little segment to build, which is way faster. And then the water that these guys are using will just drain out of this over that time for that construction. And we'll make sure we do this switch in the summer so that if, you know, the heating plant gets shut down, it doesn't matter too much, right? Like, it's not producing anything right now anyway. So we'll just make sure that that happens. Did the crossing get done? Right now it's done. Okay, so what we want to do is come over to our signals. All right, and right now we're going to have a little bit of an issue with that. But since this is already gone, passed by it, we'll go like this, and we'll go like that. And so now these trains can do... Got to wait for it to pass. Okay, now we can do that. All right, wonderful. Yep, waiting for you to go. Yeah, okay. So now we should see them always be on the correct side of this because they're only on this track and they're only destined for that side of the track. And I shouldn't need to babysit them too much anymore in this area. I mean, we'll see. I mean, I may need to still, but I think that will significantly help that problem to get solved. And then over here, did we get our electric train in here? Not yet. Where is this thing? It takes a while, doesn't it? He's way over here. Oh, he's under. Oh, okay. I mean, he probably had to take... Honestly, it doesn't surprise me. He's probably going to have to take kind of a weird path because he's got to follow the electric tracks. But the fact that he can get out there is a pretty good sign. From the border to that spot is pretty good sign that he's still on his way and he's not hung up. It looks like he's going to go through the nuclear setup in order to get there. Electrification must not be on these other tracks. Did I not electrify these? Yeah, I thought I made these after the electrification. Oh, you know what it is? It's right here. It's this, yeah, that intersection isn't fully, so I would need to get that straight on done, and then he probably would have done it. But he still had to take a weird path, but he still did it, and it looks like he's going to be fine. And the good news, I think, this is great news, actually. We have the tracks, up until this point right here. Hello. It's almost done. Is there a track builder on its way? We have the tracks pretty much built all the way out to here, which is great because you can see we have a lot of excess UF6. This is part of the setup here is that we export at UF6. We produce way more than we need always, and then we just export the extra. Right, so this is always full. This is always full. And as long as these guys are full, which they are, you can see lots of it. As long as they're full, they'll always export out to that storage. And so we should see a pretty consistent, trickle in, I suppose, of this highly radioactive stuff. And then if there's any extra nuclear fuel, that also gets put in here at the same time. They'll share space with that. But we'll only export the UF6 and until the nuclear fuel is taking up like maybe 60-70% of this. And then we can export the nuclear fuel all in one go. And by the time we get that far, we should have the dock up here, which I did not make yet because I don't have any vehicles out this way. I should probably go do that, but I'll do that once this is flattened. Once I get all this stuff flattened, I'll do that. Yeah. Let's real quick go in and just make sure we're doing some more here. All right, they've made it all the way out here to the start of this tunnel. And so what we're going to do to get this tunnel constructed is we're going to have the tunnel boring machines, which are very busy doing the underground part there. And I'm going to have one of them move over to the Bellis-Ross Rail Construction Office so that they can bore this tunnel here too. Okay. So we're going to take it's going to go a little slower for the Metro, but I think it's going to be okay. So we're going to take, let's say this one here. And we're going to say that you are going to move yourself to this construction office right here. All right. So we'll have one tunnel boring machine over here now, which means we only have one tunnel boring machine working on the entire Metro at the moment, which isn't such a big deal. The tunnels don't take that much time. They spend most of their time sitting there doing nothing. So there's just a lot of traffic in this area with the rail, and a lot of it has to do with the fact that there's so many of these little trams now. So I'm making adjustments here to try to get the flow to be better. A couple of the adjustments I'm making is that big long trains like this that are coming from Charlabinsk or Krasna in this case, or sorry, Sernakova from this case, a lot of these trains have been told to enter this area to drop off their passengers. And I'm going to have them basically exclusively dropped off over here now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, say, the Sernakova train platform here, for example. And what I want this train to do now is I want it to tag up and go that way. So I'm just going to tell it to do a waypoint here. Maybe not even that one. That one, we're going to come over here, actually. So from this stop, I want you to tag up here, right? To really make sure that it comes from this direction. There, okay? And then you can make your stop. And then from that stop, I want you to also tag up on that one. And what that does is it's just going to make sure that these longer trains in general stay and go this way. And then they stay on this side, right? if we start seeing that some of these are empty or that we're not getting enough workers, which I don't think will ever be a problem here. I don't really think we're getting enough workers over here anyway. So like the mines and stuff could have more, especially the coal mine. We could definitely have more people there. And obviously steel has capacity and stuff too. So I think that train station is going to be where we drop off people from the longer trains. And then this area is going to be predominantly, maybe not exclusively, but it's going to be prominently the trams that are moving through here, right? And so what I want to have is I've been making the signals a little bit closer, breaking the rules of the 150 meter rules, right? Because I want these trams moving and getting through here. All the trams are very, very short. I need you to just go, man. Yeah, I mean, that's the problem right now, right? Is like, if these longer trains stop here, it's going to cloud this intersection and everything gets jammed. So the idea is to take all these bigger, longer trains. None of the distribution offices will go through here. There's zero reason to ever use this route. None of the distribution trains do that. So if I can get some of these passenger trains with redoing their waypoints to really make them go wide out this way, then I can have all of these signals be a lot closer together, minus the trash train, but that usually just sits here for a long period of time and then it leaves. So that might cause some temporary congestion, but I don't have a lot of concern about that right now. And then on this side here, we do have maybe something that could happen because these trains do leave and come through here. So I actually think that on this side, I've been doing it here too, but I think I won't now. We're going to leave this open like this because I don't want trains to stop in the middle of this intersection, right? So the hope is now we have, with this little section only, really, from here to here, there's a lot of signals that are very close together, and they're basically all there because of trams. The idea is hopefully getting trams to move out of the way so that the longer trains that are making their deliveries can do their thing. Because otherwise, you get trains that are kind of stuck, and I don't want that to happen, right? There's their plastics train and stuff, right? And there are probably a lot of plastics over here just waiting. Yeah, 212 tons. It's great. So we're doing okay on plastics production now. Really, this is still gonna happen? Yeah, I guess so. I guess so. They don't. Yep. Okay. I don't think the tunnel boring machine is here yet. It's gonna take a bit for that to get here. And there's also some crimes being reported and not patrolled. Interesting. That's gonna hurt. Yeah, that's gonna hurt happiness. We also have that sewage tank overflowing over here, right? I talked about that earlier in the video, so we need to look at that too and make sure that that's getting taken care of. So sewage is here. It's that little tank right there. And so we need that to dump somewhere. And I think I'm going to take it all the way out this way, which is going to take a very long time to do. But I think it has to be done. So it's going to come all the way out and dump into this. So we'll put in a sewage discharge. And it's one of those things where I have to redo the terrain, don't I? Don't make me do that. Come on now. Because it's rounded. You have to have it kind of flat. Usually, if you can find that one spot where the river kind of flattens out, you can sometimes get away with it. But it also has to be deeper because this is really shallow, and sometimes it'll invalidate that. Like that right there is good, except it's not deep enough, right? So it's gonna do that to me, and I'm gonna have to get some trucks out here. I wonder if I have anything. There's construction offices right here, right? So maybe it's possible to just do it. Let's see. Let's go over here. And if I wanted to, say, lower the terrain right here, let's say right here. No, I need excavators, which I don't have them close enough. Maybe over here? No. So they're not close enough. Where are they? Right here? This isn't close enough. Excavators are right here. Wow, that's not close enough. Damn. Good news is, though, they're pretty close, and I could move them. I just think I've used all my temporary offices. It's over here, sorry. Temporary free. Oh, I didn't. Cool. So, I mean, maybe we can move them to be, like, maybe here. It just needs to be close enough to where I could do that with the road. So, we'll go... Nope, not that one. It needs to be a different road. It needs to be one that we can drive to really quickly. Shoot. Okay, tell you what. Let's bring this around. And then this office, we'll have you come from here straight over like that. Yep, right, like that. And connect there. Good, and we might as well just connect that up because we can. All right, now I can take this excavator, let's say, and tell you to come over here. That's probably all I need to do. I think just the one excavator is fine. I just need to lower that train a little bit and make it deeper, and we're good to go on that. It's July. I think we'll start seeing harvest. Looks like that one did. Either that or it didn't get planted at all. It didn't get planted at all, did it? No. That's an interesting thing to have happen. And I'm curious as to how that came about. So this field is not actually covered by this farm. That's peculiar. And the question really for me then is if these three are not covered by the farm, then why are these planted? That's the $1 million question right now, isn't it? How did that get planted? I only have the two farms in that area, and neither one of them are there. You should have these fields as a part of your coverage. So that's bizarre. It's really strange. I have no idea why that didn't happen. I have no idea why this didn't get planted, and also no idea why... Wait, maybe it's a road thing. You know what probably happened? When I was building these roads, I might have No, it can't be that, because these are planted, so I have no idea how that worked. I was going to say, maybe I disconnected these roads temporarily, and that disconnected it from the, from the farm. But no, I even have the signals still good, although this one here needs work, doesn't it? Sure does. It should be like... Oh, come on now. Do things for common sense here, huh? There we go. All right. Well, shoot. I guess that's a little bit of farms that we don't have. Now, I've also added 2 fields just now. I'm not going to be able to farm them yet, but I've added 2 fields over here for this farm to do. So this farm has 2 additional ones on this side now. And then these are supposed to be houses, maybe some stores or something right here. And then also clothing. Clothing production can happen over here too, because there's a lot of crops here, and we can make that happen over here too. And it's really close to, this area here. It's just that making fabrics requires chemicals, and so I still need to hook up some more reliable means of chemical transport. I don't have that yet. Looks like the pipes are done. Beautiful. Pipes being done is huge. Okay, so because the pipes are done, we can go ahead and turn these back on. These were all just work days is all we were waiting for here. So go ahead and turn these back on. Here we go. And then, yep. Making sure I got all of them. Yep. And then this is ready to rock with the fuel storage here ready to accept oil. And then the power should be hooked up. Power systems are, we don't have any voltage. Did I not do I might not have done this. I didn't do this. Okay. So we're going to take, because this didn't get built yet. That's the reason right there. Okay. So we'll want to have another source of power here. So we'll go ahead and grab like a little one here. Okay. There's all these little pieces everywhere that have to be connected. And you just gotta, put them together. So I'll take these. We don't need a full voltage setup here or anything. Power wattage or whatever you want to call it. I don't need the 235. So we'll go like that. It's probably more than I need still. But I figure since it's powering 3 pump jacks and this pump, whatever. It's really not that much difference in cost. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then over here, we're going to be pumping through this, plus the conveyor engines and a few other things in here. So I'm going to go ahead and just give this the full 235. It's also not a very far distance to cover, so it's not going to be very expensive overall. So we'll go about like that, and there. All right, and then we'll have Ballast Ross come out here and do all this stuff again. should be able to handle that stuff now. Yeah. And then let's get you prioritized here and here. If we can get this part online, then we will have another source of oil. At least 3 pump jacks. It's not much, but it's something. Something that can be pumped into here. And then this source of oil, we can also tap into this for the purposes of chemicals, which we're going to be making local, right? We have the second plant, but I'm not planning to build it. The first plant needs to be going. So to gather an additional source of wood, right? I started this over here, and this is kind of for a different purpose, but I mean, maybe they can feed wood this way. The other idea was to have the wood production happen over here. I just think it's not going to be necessary. So I'd rather have it be more towards where the trains are going to pick it up and the construction means and things like that. That's where the wood's going to be made over there. And then we'll just truck it from here and bring it over into this area. It won't be such a big deal. And so the next task here, which I think I'll probably handle this offline since our videos, I don't know if the video is getting long or not. I've had to start and stop this thing probably like 10 times today and yesterday and the day before that. But it's I'm trying to do this for you guys, like in between all the Christmas shopping and the soccer practices and the everything, all the parent teacher conferences and the going out and seeing Santa and family coming over and friends and company parties for my wife. And there's a lot of stuff that happens in the holidays, and it disrupts my entire schedule. It's always the slowest period of time for me on this channel. If you're new here, the slowest period ever that you'll ever see here is always going to be late November and through December is always going to be as slow as it ever gets for me here. And then everything just picks back up in January, and you start getting videos daily, mid-January or so. So there you go. So I think, yeah, I'll probably handle this offline, but we're just going to take and, you know what, let me just do it right now. And then you can at least see the results of it at the end of this video. Okay, so far, pretty basic. We're going to have the flat storage here for the open storage. Reminder, the stuff needs wood, crops, and oil and gravel, in addition to power and water, okay? So we have drinking water that's going to be provided to this area as well as to the meat. And I think I'm going to have the drinking water served through this water tower. So we're going to route that drinking water source here into this water tower, and then that water tower will feed this in the whole area here. I could also come off of this one, but we're already sending that water that way. So for now, it's just going to come up from here too. And then we're going to have an industrial water input here as well, because this requires industrial water too, at least 67%, right? So we're going to have that fed in there, and that gets fed directly into the buildings and stuff too. So there'll be a switch and stuff. We also need gravel. That's going to be this small aggregate storage here. It's just going to feed out into these two. Pretty basic. We'll go ahead and stop that for a second. And then everything gets a road connection too. So the road kind of goes all the way around it like that. Then because it's like I want to have crops right on both of these. And I want to have a good amount of storage of crops. This one only holds 8 tons. So I want to be able to do more, right? So each one of these is going to have a really small warehouse. I couldn't combine the 2 warehouses. There just wasn't a way to do that with the way these things were placed. So I might have placed them differently. I might have been able to do that, but it's fine. We'll just have an extra warehouse is all that really matters there. And that's going to be the setup here, in addition to sewage, which we'll figure out in a second, or we'll figure out later once everything else is built. We're not really running this yet. And then the discharge for the sewage will just go right here. This little bit of lake that's right here. It's fine. And the sewage is actually right here. So we could actually route the sewage directly into this facility. That's not a bad idea, since it's already right there and I wouldn't need another discharge. There is an input here, but really it would just get input directly into that. So I could take a sewage tank that's in range of both, which pretty much is this right here. That's not bad, actually. That's I think that's cumulatively, I think that's less resources than I was about to do. So we'll put this in range of that too, right there. Should be good. That's in range of that building too. It'll reach both of those, and then we'll just have that be like that. And then this sewage pipe here would come out this way and hook in. But remember, there's also industrial sewage coming out of this as well. So instead, I think what we'll do is we'll have like, again, there's really not there's not a need to push it through this facility. I could just have it directed here. You know, these facilities are really kind of just to say we're doing it. You don't need them. And so I think maybe instead what we'll do is I'll put a sewage switch right here. Right over here like this. Let's say switch this to where the walk path goes that way. We'll go about here with it. Let's have that just go that way. And then this will be fed out. Goes out with a big pipe into this right there. No big deal. Okay. And then from here, we just have like a little one from this tank, right? We'll do a little one into here. And then each one of these could have its own out into this as well. And so we'll just go kind of like this, I think, for this one. Like that. And then maybe this one, if we ever start to use it, we can have this one go into another switch. And then that would also combine with the sources that are going for meat, right? And then that sewage can all be redirected into that post, into that import, and then this goes out, you know? So like there's a way around that. I think that's not that much resources, so we're good. And it doesn't require additional power and stuff like the solution I was going to do. So yeah, that's it. So that'll take care of everything. And when it's all said and done, we'll have an extra source of oil. We'll get our oil trains to come out this way too and pick up. And I think instead what I'll do, because it's a really long distance, is I'll probably have one of my oil trains, because I think they're kind of fully picking up all the oil I have available anyway. See, there's not that much available here. And in fact, it looks to me like it's not going up. 95... 45.93. It's not rising. Interesting. But you are pumping. That should be going up unless we're... Oh, there it goes. 48.61. Okay, it just takes a little bit of time, I guess. There it goes. So I don't think they're fully able to fill up the trains anyway. These oil trains are not filling up, right? Because that's the fuel source. We're running low on that too. Right, there's only 300 here. When the train comes by, it can pick up over 700. Right, so I think what I'll do instead is I'll have like another train, probably electric, right? And we'll have it come out here with maybe three tankers or so, 4 tankers or so, I guess, and just sit and fill it up. And once it's full, then off it goes. You know, like, and then it'll go deliver and have one extra train doing that for a little bit, because we don't really have a lot of oil over here, but it's just an extra source. And chemicals being produced here is going to be huge, because that's a really big drain on the train's time as well, bringing chemicals out this way. So if we don't have to do that, maybe we'll even have a surplus of chemicals. That'd be sweet. If we had a surplus of chemicals, we could pick them up and pack them up and get them ready for a train. We'll bring them over here, right? Have the trucks take it from here, bring it over into this. And I'm just imagining a situation where this thing is always full of chemicals. That'd be pretty badass. And then I could have maybe even increase this a little bit and then have the trains pick it up from here and take chemicals over where it needs to go. That'd be sweet. To have this place be a net producer of chemicals would be awesome. All right. That's my video for today. Really sorry that it took so long. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you. Hopefully we'll see you in another one next week. Okay? Bye-bye.